Hey there, a couple of mea culpas before this episode. First of all, there is no video for this episode. I don't know what happened to the file. I'm pretty sure we recorded it. I may have accidentally deleted it, as there was some issues with file transfers after we did this. It sucks. We suck. I guess that's the whole point. But especially because the video was very good. I especially liked our thing at the end where we were actually mixing a thing together. But we're going to do more episodes, guys. We're committed to do more. We're going to continue to suck, but just differently, I guess. The other thing is it's like 0 degrees in Chicago. So that's Fahrenheit for all you Celsius users. And remember, it is a 9-to-5 ratio, Fahrenheit to Celsius. So remember that, 9-to-5 plus 32, going from Fahrenheit to Celsius. I don't know why I remember that. Anyway, I had a bad cough. I got a cold. I still am kind of chesty, but we're working through it. Chicago's a brutal place to be in the winter, and I had I'd hung out with some friends that we hadn't gotten together for a while. We talk about it in the episode. So anyway, I hope you can enjoy it despite all of our suckiness. So here's the episode.
How to suck at recording.
Whoa.
Welcome to episode 3 of How to Suck at Recording. I'm Britt and
I'm Dan.
Hell yeah. And we're here to help you suck at recording in all its totality.
Yeah. So this week, let's just review. The last 2 episodes, so our inaugural episode went with NAMM 2019's opening. And we covered a lot of stuff in that. Our second episode we did afterwards. It was kind of the aftermath. And so we're kind of settling into stuff, but there still are a few things left over.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're all familiar with Behringer. Basically, I think the best way to explain it is taking freed up trademarks and patents and then basically making signature clones of these synths that are pretty much identical to the original one. The one last year, the Moog Model D, kind of stirred up some controversy, but they're back and they have a whole lineup of affordable things that generally are looking better and sounding better than Roland's recent boutique release and so on.
Yeah, they've sort of taken the correct approach of really making something, analogous, making things that are analogous to the originals. I haven't really tried any myself, but I've heard a lot of raving about it.
Yeah, I've looked into this because most recently they announced the RD808, which is a TR808 clone.
Should we take a quick look?
Let's take a quick look. It's for $300. It's kind of, it's one of those things where I shut up and take my money. This is not the 808, obviously.
Let's move ahead.
Yeah. So this is more like there's some videos floating around the internet with like unfinished versions of this hanging around. This is now like they're ready to manufacture.
Oh, I know this. I have this on my phone.
This is the drum machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I like is that it looks very much like an 808 traditionally does. It looks like it functions very much like a traditional 808 does. It sounds amazing.
Hi, I'm Matt Baxley. You may know me as Moot Pooksley from the interwebs. I'm here at Behringer at Music Tribe Experience
That clip-on microphone's getting knocked around a little bit. You gotta thread it through. Hold on. Here's some good advice for location audio or live sound. Whenever you have a clip-on mic, the collar's one thing, but the cord here,
run it through the shirt, man.
Run it through the shirt at the very least, run it through a button somewhere around here just to kind of isolate it just a little bit.
So the pro tip about that, the reason why you do it isn't just to hide the unsightliness of it, but also it minimizes movement, because what just happened with this homie right here is that his mic moved around, created some external noise, which you're not going to be able to get out.
Now it shows like this, you're running and gunning, the video crew is running and gunning.
Yeah.
So it's understandable that you cut corners, but that's one of the things that takes 2 seconds. Perhaps this guy was a little bit too creepy to want to put your hands on and ask to run it through. But it takes a couple seconds just to ask them to do it themselves.
Look at his shirt.
Well, I'm more of a I'm
soul patch, right?
Yeah, the patch
and the ponytail with the it's partially parted. It's not down the center. It's not fully to the other side.
But hey, he's doing his job.
To each his own, man. Keep doing you, bro. I'm proud of you.
Moody Pooty, is that what he said his name
was?
Moog
Pugsley, I think. I don't get.
This is our pre-NAMM event, and I'm standing in front of a RD808 rhythm designer.
He's working for Behringer.
Rhythm designer 808 is a little bit
at this point. I'd kind of want to work for
user-friendly.
I'd probably
in
give
my
those
opinion.
things out.
The original 808 doesn't have the most straightforward user interface. Obviously, lots of people have made lots of records with them, but I think that this is going to facilitate a lot more record making because it's a lot easier to use. Everything is
5 seconds,
as you would
guys.
expect.
It took 5
There's
seconds.
Step entry of notes, and not only there is a completely variable swing. Now it's not there's.
There we go.
That's with nothing. Adds that beautiful roundness and fatness to the 808 patterns that you're gonna want.
I think I know this guy. I think I recognize that guy.
Want to add post anyway, so here it is.
Oh no, yeah. I thought that was Greg Corner for a second. Shout out to Greg Corner from Killahan,
and
being tall.
Has 1/4-inch outputs for everything, and there are also 3 trigger outputs that enable you to use the 808 as a trigger source for other synthesizers without tying up your actual
I definitely
audio outputs
know this
of all
guy.
your different voices.
Hey, what's up?
All right, so
do
I'm just
know
gonna
him?
make
No,
a quick.
Alright.
Just gonna make a quick.
I know I know him
sequence here.
in the sense, in the biblical sense.
Yeah.
No.
I was like, man, that's sexual. Real quick. We went there so quickly.
It looks cool. Now we get to see the voice that they have individual voices out, which is excellent.
It's tradition. It's got the USB.
That says trigger outputs. The resolution on your screen may not be able to read this stuff, but these are the main outs. It's got USB, MIDI in, out, through.
Hey man, that through is vital. I'm missing the through on one of my drum machines.
Clock. It's got the clock, so that's great. CV clock.
Yeah, man.
So
sign me the fuck up and take my money, man.
They're doing it right. Their design is on point. That's absolutely.
It sounds like it should. That's the thing that gets me. It's like
the whole thing is like, when are those knobs? Those pots basically. The knobs. When are they gonna? What kind of quality are they? The only Behringer piece of gear that I use right now, because of a lot of those reasons, is the XR18. You've seen this thing, right?
Yeah, that thing's cool though.
That's a good piece of gear, but it has no knobs. It has like one switch.
Here, follow me on this one, all right?
And I think that's why I trust it.
I have the Cyclone Analogic CR78 clone. It's the TT78 Beatbot. It's also a clone of the original CR78. And it's $350, I think. That's the XR.
So that's the XR18. I just wanted to get a picture of it. And what were you talking about?
The Cyclone Analogic TT78. And so they do 3 different machines, but their whole thing is kind of similar to what this Roland demo is. It's $349. So.
Oh yeah. You brought this over.
Yeah, so that one's more expensive. And I feel like the build quality, because these are both going to be, because that's obviously a Chinese made thing, all right? Same thing with the other one. I feel like as long as you're not beating the crap out of this thing, I think it should last a couple, like 5 to 6 years. And that's all you're going to get from a $300 piece of equipment, I think.
Yeah.
5 years. If you can get 5 years out of it, I think you should be happy. If you have to service one of those potentiometers, I guarantee you take it in to get it serviced, and it's cheap because they use cheap potentiometers. Unless they're using really great stuff and we don't know.
Yeah, if you're able to use it in a safe environment and take good care of it, if you're moving it around, get a good case for it, I think you could get a lot of value out of it.
Yeah, I do. I'm really a big fan of. There's a couple of these things, and that's why we're devoting a little section to this Behringer situation, not just like, oh, this is an announcement of gear.
Should we take a look at the other stuff?
Yeah, let's take a look at the others. So they also have announced an OBX clone from Oberheim, which is way more like I'm a big fan of all of that they're doing right now, and I'm probably gonna buy the Roland stuff as soon as it comes out, and then later on pick up like a Model D that might be used. Not because I hate the Model D by any means, but like this other stuff is way more interesting to me at the moment. That's the vocoder. We're going to touch on that too. The VC340, which is the string ensemble vocoder thing.
I think that would probably be my favorite thing to get, because vocoding, I've never been able to find a really solid software one.
I think I sent you there's another link with the actual unit.
Yeah, you sent another link.
Yeah, let's check out that one, because like this is the layout of that other, the complete Oberheim. It's too bitchin'. Like that's crazy. Like this is I want one of these synths very badly.
These are out already?
This is like the next step. So like I just feel like if that's under $500, even $600.
Now, maybe we should just, I don't know, describe the Oberheim a little bit. The OBX. That's the Van Halen jump synth, right? Or is it something similar?
It's similar.
It's also an Oberheim. Oberheim's known for sort of their large pad sounds.
Yes, I think that's what and then their DMX drum machine is also very known. They have a very specific analog sound, and it's cool. I like what they do, and like they have the thing with like these multi-oscillating synths is that like you get a lot of flexibility out of them. So like if
I have a good plug-in version of this.
I mean yes, there are.
I don't know if I have it on this machine though.
But yeah, man. So like that one, and then like they do it. They're releasing an MS-101. And then that vocoder. It's just kind of insane, because all of these, the Oberheim is 1,000 plus synth.
What is the MS-101?
It's the SH-101 is the original.
Oh, SH-101.
Yeah. So the VC3, we'll move to this right now. This is right in front of us. Yeah, let's go through it. It's just cool to me.
Okay. I think for that last video, we should take out the opening music.
Yeah.
Avoid copyright issues.
We can do one of those things that they do for like YouTube TV, where it's like ESPN's like, we're on a commercial break. You just black out for that 5 seconds.
Nice. I love a good ensemble.
I feel like this is what it's doing, what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, even without the vocoder, kind of. That's a sweet sound.
Yeah, man.
It reminds me a lot of Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing a shootout.
You're getting pretty close.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, this is,
It's fucking cool.
out of everything that they've released, this is probably...
I don't know. You haven't seen the SH101 yet.
I do like an SH-101. I've used real SH-101s.
Think about it though,
But still, like, you know, there's good plugin versions for free, even.
yeah, but like, so here's what I'm saying about that though, is that like these pillar synthesizers are now accessible to the general community. That's amazing, because somebody like me will dump some money on these things to kind of hold on to and like utilize.
Yeah, I'm much more computer based of a musician, which should, you know, always be a qualifying sort of aspect to my statements.
It's just different way to cut the cake, but it's, for me, it's just like people have asked for this over and over again, and like now people are delivering, and that's amazing.
Here we go. Oh wait, I want to move to like where this actually becomes a vocoder.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, skip ahead.
Coda section next.
Oh, it's so quiet. Why are the British so tender when they say things?
Not all of them are.
Now I'm talking through the machine.
Here we go. But, dude, but you know, low key. Look at this background. Jesus Christ.
I just want to let you know that I am a professional synthesized.
Synthesist.
And I can be
He's got like a full back piece of Wendy Carlos.
deeper. Very, very cool. I can do higher.
Oh man.
Yeah, I often will like hook up one of my my various synthesizers, like keyboard synthesizers, and then just become like frustrated that I could just do everything in the box.
Let's sing a
It's
song.
pretty much the same.
I will
Or just spend a million.
let you go, my baby. Every time we say goodbye, I feel a lot of pain. Let's add some ensemble effect.
Is that lyric from something?
I don't know. If somebody knows, just let us know.
Or is that something he like before the demo? He was looking through like his notebook of poetry, like from high school or something.
It'd be really funny if it was like a Little Yachty lyric or something.
I am something so without you. Every time you leave me, I feel a lot of pain.
No, I feel like that's from his notebook.
Yeah, that sounds like high school poetry. It's great though.
I'm loving all of this.
Yeah. So anyway, this would be something I would consider because not only, you know, it has MIDI capability, and then it has this thing that I really don't like doing with software. And you know, it's the tactile interface as well. I don't know. I have a hard time with software vocoders, and I can't exactly explain why. I can't exactly.
They
explain
don't
why.
really work well. I've never encountered ones that work well. Even like the one like
I've never really tried any of the like expensive ones. I think Native Instruments had one for a little while, and it just sucked.
Yeah, no, like they're not great at doing that for some reason. Even like auto-tune to a certain
I think
degree.
maybe even a little bit of latency like can be an issue.
I don't know.
You just need it to be analog.
I think so. I mean, there's like I would like to also state when generally the synths that me and you, at least when we work on a lot of synth stuff, they tend to be newer workstations that aren't workflow friendly. It's not like every day we have a mono poly hanging out in your studio. Yeah.
We never do.
Right?
We never do.
And like I feel like these analog ones, like these analog machines, if you had them around, you'd probably use them a lot more, just because they would be workflow friendly. Mm-hmm. That's my thesis. But I feel like yes, you're right. Software synths and plugins cover a lot of ground, but there's some cool stuff out there.
Is there anything out about the SH101 yet?
The MS1, yeah, that's another like that. The VC and then the vocoder, the 808 and the SH101, the MS101 are all slated to come out like this year, some point in time. There you go. Look at it. Yeah, sound demo, no talking. That's good. Let's do that one.
Yes. We won't have to. Yeah, I mean,
Shut up, take my money.
this is also something I would love to have.
What do you think that, like, as soon as this gets dropped, I'm running. I'm not going to name the dude who I wanted to buy his SH-101 off of when I worked at an undisclosed music retailer. But I wanted to. And I wish I did. But he wanted like top dollar for it.
Yeah. Was he also the one who had a mini mode, or was that another guy?
I think that was the other guy. I also bought a really messed up Lawsuit era Ibanez off of him. Sweet guitar, but really messed up.
Was the other one?
Oh, I love it. I can't hate on this thing. It's got step sequencer.
Yeah. And it looks like it has because this was like the original guitar, right?
Yeah. So it has this like modulator grip on there, so you can play it live.
This thing.
Yeah. Like, seriously. I mean, how?
Guitar strap lock peg.
Like I said, under $500, even up to like $600. I'm definitely gonna get this.
So see, anyway, check it out. One knob, one switch.
One knob.
This is why I trust this thing, like in critical situations.
I feel that.
Anyway, for if we have audio listeners in the future, I was just going back to the Behringer XR18 mixer that I use for live applications and also location recording.
And so I'm not sure if they're gonna do like a rack mount version of this.
You wouldn't. What would be the point of a rack mount?
SH-101.
Ooh.
So you can get those really like harsh Roland filters, I guess.
Oh yeah, the ladder.
Yeah. Monophonic synth.
Oh, is it truly monophonic?
I don't know if this one is, but the original one was.
I bet it is. I mean, we haven't heard him play a single chord.
And this is where I think I'm a little more jazzed on the OBXA, just because it is polyphonic.
Do we have an OBXA demo?
I don't know. I don't know it would be the UBXA. There it is. It's right there. What's going on? Oh, Insider R&D. Yeah, let's do
and this
it.
is official Behringer.
Let's see what the minds of Behringer are doing.
I don't think I've ever seen a Behringer video.
Hi, this is Pete and Rob from Midas R&D. We're going to have a look inside an upcoming project we've got, the UBXA, which of course is based on the legendary OBXA. So let's take a look inside. We've got some circuit diagrams. Let's have a look.
Yeah. So
It's interesting.
what we're thinking
This
about
is
for
actually
project,
interesting.
is like you say,
We're looking at the
slightly
insides of the
different approach than we
OBXA.
did for DeepMind and the 106. We see the general feeling is we want to try and keep this as close as we can to the original. So let's have a quick tour around the inside. We've got obviously 4 voice cards here, 4 underneath.
4 voices.
You're mad with the features, so just looking to get
So
feedback, really.
Yeah.
4 voices at a
Keep it
time, which
authentic, but
Yeah.
good amount of voices. Maybe definitely not a good amount of voices for like a pianist who's going to be, playing jazz or classical. But for someone like me who's a point or what is that called? A pecker?
Oh,
Well, when you're typing on a keyboard,
Hunt and Peck.
a hunt and pecker. I'm like that with keyboards.
Yeah, I mean, for like guys who like to just play some paddage, that'd be good too.
Yeah, I like to just press one key down and then just like turn knobs.
That's
So anyway,
there's no audio, but it's a thirstful thing.
we've been talking about this. It's our, and I
Yeah.
mean, it is our headline for almost 24 minutes.
It's time to move on.
But I wanted to address sort of the issues of, I mean, what are these guys doing? Like, they're, these are products that have all been made and at some point, sold as exclusive inventions. So, I mean, you were looking it up a little bit before.
Yeah, so I mean, it's contested. I mean, some people think that it's cheapening the originals, but you got to remember that these clones, they're never gonna sound exactly like the originals. I don't think. I think the functionality and like, the kind of character that comes from the original ones are always gonna stay that. I think these are very, very much like viable solutions for people like me who are workaday musicians and producers who have to like budget their costs with the toys that they want to get to kind of enhance what they're doing. And I think that this is a viable option versus maybe a lot of other things on the market, which can range from like $1,000 on down. There are just so many different versions of these clones that I wouldn't be like butthurt that Behringer's doing one that just is good and cheap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like this says right here. They're already available as official reissues for some of this stuff. The BP303, I guess, would be the main standout here. And Roland has a reissue of here's the TB03. Oh, here's the Rhythm Composer.
Yeah,
I mean, look at this.
It's very small. The if you look at the actual like
and then here's the vocoder.
Yeah. they're mini versions.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I was really disappointed and they're not analog. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the thing is that the cool stuff that's going on with Behringer is that they're doing analog, real kind of like they're fulfilling the market and they're doing it at under cost. And like that's why can't Roland do that? Roland is a bigger corporation. They could have done the same thing, but they've chosen not to.
I mean, perhaps it's just a different market where Roland is just not interested in like real like people who are working producing music and that's a part of their income, a part of how they keep their lives rolling. Whereas, I mean, who is this for, I wonder? Because the Behringer stuff, I keep on hearing from people online and in real life about how like they're just killing it and they're making what people like us, home producers, people who sometimes work in a studio, and then people who actually work in studios for like full time. Mm-hmm. This is what they want. And that's a wide swath of just musicians in general. So I'm like, who is this for? I think this is for like, in video games, often you'll have what's called a licensed product from like a video game.
Yeah.
And the most notorious is E.T. for the Atari. And like the whole thing is that like these companies are willing to just put out these totally awful video games. Just because they have the picture on the cover, and grandma, grandpa, aunt, and uncle are gonna, just see this in the store when they don't know what the hell to shop for, and this is what Junior wanted.
Yeah, I mean a little A and B, right? So these generally range between in retail they're about $349 a piece to $400.
These Roland ones?
Yeah. All right, so it is cheaper to get for example, when the 808 comes out from Behringer, it'll be cheaper to pick that up than their version of the 808 reissue, which is the small. I don't think these things are like the cheap version. I think they go for a different market. They're going for like this new generation of guys who are like, we want it to sound like this, but we want it to be mini. We want to be able to take it in a backpack and go somewhere. And there are people who feel like that. I don't see people do this often. I've never really but I think that's the thought with these. They don't sound horrible. I don't particularly like the sound of them, but they're not worse. Like I said, I chose a different machine in my shopping for clones and reissues and all that stuff. and I went with something completely different, right?
Yeah, there always are other options.
I think that Roland missed an opportunity for money for sure. I mean, especially since but they have been making Eurorack style modules again. They have been doing some other stuff that's been really cool. So
we got to make this like the background, my desktop image, I think.
Yeah, I like that. But I that's where I'm coming from on that, is that I think Roland and Yamaha and Korg are in interesting dilemmas. I think Korg has been handling it a little bit more gracefully than Roland, and then Yamaha just doesn't care. But these are really big synthesis corporations that operate multiple arms. You know what I mean? I think Behringer, because it is a little bit smaller than Behringer Midas is smaller than those guys. I feel like they're able to answer market demand quicker.
Yeah. I guess also they have to. I guess when you have a smaller company, there's fewer psychopaths in the boardroom and in executive roles.
I mean, well, Korg
just like looking at who are just looking at numbers and charts.
It's true. I mean, but Korg bought ARP essentially and resurrected ARP and made that a thing now.
Well, Korg, I mean, every once in a while, a confluence of good. Every once in a while, a confluence of good, but coincidences occurs, and a large company does that. But remember, back in 2006 or 7, Korg was really messing up.
Oh yeah.
So these big companies, all these companies, Behringer's also going away. Behringer used to be a punchline.
Yeah, it was horrible, horrible, and now I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Who knows? Time will tell.
Time changes.
Yeah. The times they are changing.
That was
a Bob Dylan thing.
That was pretty bad.
Old Robert Zimmerman.
I think we're gonna need to put some reverb on that. All right. Anyway, next up.
Yeah.
We just want to talk briefly about cheap condenser microphones, and also just I personally would like to cue you in to another YouTube channel called White Sea Studio. Why has this changed so much? Where do I get the other picture? Let me see.
The first one. Go. Just click on the first one again.
There we go.
All right.
So anyway, this is what we're looking at is the Xingyu condenser microphone bundle.
It comes with a bunch of stuff.
A ZY007 professional cardioid studio condenser mic, including adjustable suspension, scissor arm stand, shock mount, and pop filter. Studio recording and broadcasting.
So it looks like that little USB thing is like a dongle of sorts, where you can start recording. Yeah, USB sound adapter.
So this is quite a package, and it is, as you can see if you're watching the video, you can get it for
red. Ferrari red, man. Ooh,
minimum on Amazon. For $34.
But if you want something to solve all of your recording needs. All right. Yeah. Anyways, this guy on White Sea wanted to take a couple of these mics and put them up against the big boys. There's some interesting results, for sure.
It's pretty much just available on Amazon.
It's an off-brand microphone. It's the MXL microphone.
Oh God, they used to give those out for free at Guitar Center.
Yeah, they're like, dude, just take them. It's like that free magazine thing. It's like a box of free magazines that says just a free MXL condenser mic. Mm-hmm. Just take this.
So anyway, yeah. Oh, I got one time. I think I was buying some cables, and it was a large condenser and a small condenser. They just gave it to me with like a purchase of like under $200.
Oh my God.
And I brought it home, and the small diaphragm condenser just didn't work.
Yeah,
I was like, whatever.
Yeah, you're not gonna go
and return a free fucking mic.
Oh my God.
Whatever.
Anyways, these, while be it I remember the MXL stuff sounding like dog shit.
Oh yeah, it was awful. It was really, really awful. You remember CAD microphones?
I was gonna say Octavia is another one of them.
Octavia's? Hell no. I have an Octavia right here.
It's maybe not Octavia then. It was the. Oh no, it's not Octavia.
Octava. This is Octava. I thought you meant.
No, not Octava. It's Octavia. It's VIA or something like that. It's like
Octavia.
Yeah, it's like crappy.
Yeah. So anyway, it's this young man. Lives in Amsterdam. Works in Amsterdam. He does a really. I mean, he's definitely a personality. May not be for everyone, but I think he's doing some of the best just reviews and stuff that I've found. He's very critical, but in a very constructive way. As you can see here, he's working right now on a Softtube Console 1 review. He's done an unboxing. He's got a plugin review called Snake Oil. And I think he just really cuts to the chase. But anyway.
This thing over here is the Xingyu, if I pronounce it correctly, but I do have a reputation of not pronouncing things correctly. The Xingyu BM800. And at the time that I bought them, they were $22.
So, yeah, he got it for an extra good deal.
Yeah, super good. Well, I mean...
Maybe it was on sale.
Maybe he just got the mic. Maybe he didn't get the hyper recording package.
Yeah, so anyway, I think the place to listen to... Well, I mean...
Let's do those drums, man. You got to do the drums. I feel like the drums are a good picture painter. Like, this is what you get for $33. I think when you go to the vocal part of the video, it's where you're like,
yeah, the vocal and the piano.
The piano. So those are the three things that we're going to show you. This is a long video. If you're really interested in this, just go head over to the Homeboys, page and give it a listen.
So these are... So anyway, let me preface. He does KM84s, which are basically KM184s but older, and these Xingyu mics.
4 microphones. Those are the vintage ones from the KM brains with each other. These things are always
They're in
difficult.
approximately the same spot. Overheads. These are the nice mics. And he switches over. So the kick drum kind of flattens out. Everything kind of flattens out. You get a big boost at like 5K, around 5K.
I like
maybe a little lower.
I like what you said when you introduced it. Papery.
Now that's
like a papery.
Oh yeah,
snare.
The snare gets really papery, almost like an effect, like you might put on something.
It sounds like it might tear. That's how it like. It's a very delicate snare sound. I would definitely agree that like it's an effect. For $33, man, it might be something that you want to get into. I'm not. For me, I don't necessarily need that kind of thing.
So, just to show you where these things fail, I don't think we'll show the vocal one because I think it's obvious from this grand piano one what it's going to be like. And I don't want to use too much of Witz's video. I really would just like to use this as something where he did a really good job. He actually booked out a real studio with really nice room and everything, and had a guy write a song. Had someone who worked there, I think, write a song to do this, so that he wouldn't get any copyright infringement claims on stuff he worked on, which is something I should talk about a little bit with regards to our channel and what we're doing with our demos when we get to our demo. So anyway, here's the nice Neumann U47. I don't know. This could be like 5-digit mic.
It could be. I haven't looked at current prices.
5-figure mic.
Yeah, I haven't looked at current prices.
Well, let's take a quick look. What do you think would be on Reverb?
Yeah.
U47. Neumann.
And he's Telefunken. Didn't he have the Telefunken?
I believe
they're the same thing. They're just repackaged.
Yeah, his says Telefunken on the front, but Neumann on the back. No, they're like $4,000
for the new one. What's that?
That is the new one. $4,000 for new ones. Vintage. Let's see.
There we go. That's what I was thinking.
This one? Yeah. So boy, $18,000
for a pair though. That's the stereo set. So you're looking at about 10. 9, 10.
Close to 10, yeah. It's definitely...
The
here's
67.
Vintage King.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Vintage King has them for, it looks like, close to $9,000.
So yeah. Died.
Well, let me put my phone on silent. How to suck at recording, baby.
I love how it comes with a leather briefcase.
Yeah, and it is branded. I don't know if that's an original.
I don't know either, but that's fucking crazy.
Get closer.
I want to be that exorbitant.
This is baller,
dude. That's posh, as they would say overseas.
Okay, let's. So the grand piano. Anyway, he's using a pair of these U47s.
Oh, by the way.
Great
Let's
sound.
switch.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is where people get really critical of things. Is like, why would you spend so much money on a microphone? Here, my friends, is a very good reason
Now
why.
that's
Well, this is like about as big a difference as you can get.
Yeah. The
Like-
jump is crazy.
So 17, 18 grand, because he is using a pair.
Yeah.
So 18 grand worth of microphone, compared to $50 worth of microphone.
Yeah. 63. Or for him,
something
it was
to think
50
about.
bucks. Yeah.
Yeah, for him. But yeah, for anyone who's on this and wants to go onto the Amazon and get a pair, you're going to be paying, less than 100. That's for sure.
I mean, here's my questions about this though. This gets into like some cool shit right here. Like, I'm glad that we're kind of past like a lot of gear announcement stuff and get into the meat that we do. Why invest that kind of money in bad mics? Because here's the thing: he's going into a good room, right? If you're wanting to record a grand piano, you're paying for the room anyways. You best believe you shouldn't be using $60 microphones for your recording situation. And that leads me to go, well, if you're just booking the time, just make sure you ask them a question about what mics they got. You know what I mean? In the mic locker. If you're trying to do something more budget friendly and you have a home project studio, I would recommend looking into Shure or even AKG at that point.
Yeah. Everything, full disclosure, we live in Chicago. It's where Shure is headquartered. We're recording on 2 Shure mics. They're super high quality, high value. So yeah, when you're, I feel that like I don't think these are at all of value.
No,
these Zing U's.
It's not remarkable.
And we won't listen into it, but like the vocal just like it just sucks coming through. It's just like it sucks.
Yeah.
But there's no low end. He does say that like they were singing like a ways away from it, So like I'm talking a ways away from my microphone. I get closer. You hear more bass. And that effect it's a proximity effect. It adds more bass. The closer you are to the microphone. And he says that like if you sang more up on these microphones, it might sound better. But still, the high end, and then the guitar too. The guitar just sounds horrible through it. Acoustic guitar, just hear fret noise. Yeah. What these are doing is they're cutting out. They're not able to capture a lot of the low end, and they're just hyping at like 4K, 5K. It's those frequencies that sort of can feel like daggers in your ears if they're too loud.
I think this is a good thing to kind of address though, from a more like knowledge practical standpoint, that like just because it says that it's a large diaphragm microphone doesn't mean that it's actually, or a large capsule microphone, it doesn't necessarily mean that its transformers will actually put out that actual curve or that wideness.
Yeah, the electronics inside I'm sure are very low quality.
Quality, or just like whatever the restriction in that pipeline is. I think it's easy to get caught up for younger guys who get in the game and they just starting out and they're like, I need a large diaphragm condenser, or a large capsule condenser microphone. I don't have a lot of money, but this is how I'm going to get a good sound. I think is a really weird, like misdirected thing. I have a lot of people who ask me these questions. I was talking to some Lyft driver the other day. and he records a lot of Indian music and stuff, like at Bollywood and whatnot. And he was wondering and asked me, he's like, "What do you recommend for a person who's on a budget? Like, because there's a lot of mics out there. I don't know what's going to sound good and what's going to sound bad, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. I can't buy like a $500 mic." And I always tell him, get a Rode NT1A. You know what I mean? Or get one of the midline. Sure, we're on some Shure microphones that do this. I think the KSM series is the...
Which one? I think you're on the SM32 or something.
No, PGA.
Pardon
PGA.
this noise.
PGA 27.
You're in the PGA 20. Okay, cool. So let's check this out. I mean, you're hearing Britton talk through this on 3 episodes so far. PGA 27. I'm on an SM27. A little more high quality. So you can get it for $100 on Reverb right now, $200 at retail.
And this is what this is what I've been alluding to this whole time when we talk about this, is that like there are great ways to utilize your budget, get good gains without having to break the bank, and actually get some return on the equipment that you're using if you understand how to utilize it correctly.
Yeah, I just don't think you're getting value with a mic that cheap and that chintzy sounding.
It's snake oil, right? Like there's no fooling people.
Snake oil, I think, is Witze from White Sea. I think he only reviews plugins in that series.
Yeah, but moving
branding is very important.
Yes, it is.
If you're running a YouTube channel. Yeah, but I think, as you can see, he's got way more views than us, but I think this is sort of a little, it should be a lot higher, even though this is a new video.
I think
all these numbers, I think, could be higher.
I think what he inadvertently did was kind of show people that there are no easy way to cut corners that way, right? Like you're not going to get so much return off of this really chintzy mic. Like there is a barrier to entry. You do have to like kind of think about that. And like I think that's good to understand. If you see something that's too good to be true, it probably is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I know that sounds like it's where I always get distrustful with the Behringer stuff. I'm like, is it really going to be that good, man? Because if it's like too good to be true, right? Like, I don't know. That's where that whole debate comes in. But when it definitely there's no such thing as a $30 mic solution in that way that you're going to really be satisfied overall.
Yeah. I like the name of the caption on this is "This isn't fair." And he's holding up the U47.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. Like, it should never be fair. If you have access to the...
Yeah, I guess the whole point is like, he's comparing to like some very valuable mics, some of the most valuable mics you can shop for. So,
Here's...
But yeah, it's kind of a joke. It's snarky. Yeah. Whatever. If you're not into that, don't check out his videos. If you're into really, really critical reviews that contain some snark, then...
Well, here's my question, man.
Fine.
Not to, like, switch it up too quickly, but, like... Mm-hmm. Have you ever been asked, like, by people, like, hey, where do you put your money then? Because, like, mics are a weird place to put your recording budget into, I think, a lot of the time. Especially when, like, we do city recording. There's a lot of limited space. You know what I mean? So where, like, you have different solutions, right? For everything. And I definitely, like, sometimes I think it's good to, like, recognize, because we are in Chicago, we generally are dealing with small spaces and we try to make them sound really big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a Steve Albini kind of town.
I love Steve Albini, though. I do respect his engineering style.
He lives really close. Not really close to here, but he lives pretty close to here.
There's a lot of Greg Norman is also out in here. The Soma guys moved out west, though. They sold out and went west.
Who can blame them?
I can't. Northern California is beautiful.
Yeah, we just have to weather these horrible winters.
No, but I guess I say that because it depends on the level of your home studio situation and what you're doing with your home studio, obviously. For more of the, like, I'm recording bands and stuff, you're going to need to get mics. I just think a lot of the, like, phallical response is like jumping to getting a condenser maybe more than getting some really good dynamics like the Sennheiser 421s or like, you know, a D112. Not D112, it's the D12, right? The kick drum mic that everybody uses.
Yeah, the D12.
D12, which is a great mic as well.
The Shure one is the SM51, is it?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
No, I was talking about the Sennheiser M421 MKs. I love those mics, by the way. Those are great mics.
I don't know if I've used those kick mics. I have
not the kick mic with the Sennheiser. It's the
MD421.
Yeah.
I have one of those right here.
I love that mic. So yeah, if you that like, and these are not, some of these aren't cheap mics. The 421s.
We got to add
like,
cameras.
Yeah. If you look up the cost of an MD421, they're not the cheapest mics in the world, but you would get a lot of mileage out of it. And I think when you're buying budget-oriented stuff, you got to weigh your cost to benefit ratio with like use of application.
Yeah, if you're recording like mostly bands, stuff like that, you know, you probably only need really one condenser mic.
Yeah.
And you can get away with a bunch of dynamic mics.
You wouldn't believe how many times you're going to use an SM57 on vocals, guys. I'm not even going to lie.
I've never used an SM57 on vocals.
I've done 57 and a 58 a lot.
Well, yeah. 58s are great. I use a 58 on all the drums.
I use
You just take off. There's that trick. You take off the windscreen.
Yeah.
But
that's the
this
cardioid modifier.
421, MD 421, wonderful mic. Looks like there's one for $200 right now with free shipping. This is the MM. Okay, this is not it. $250 at Reverb.
That's it.
$300 Alto Music, $288.
I guess what I'm saying is that like I would spend the
$60 for the shock mount. That's actually worth it because the clip is horrible for these things.
Yeah. There you go. That's
I don't know if this helps the clip at all.
Those break all the time. That's the only like real problem.
You know, the other thing is like be careful putting these on toms.
Yeah.
Because I had one that got hit with a stick, a really not very accurate drummer. And this shell area cracked around it, and I have it taped. Still sounds the same. I don't notice anything. I have it taped nice and tight so that it won't like resonate.
just not a well-built shell.
Yeah, it's a weird design mic, but it's a classic. Saxophones sounds good on floor tom.
I heard Stevie Nicks use that as the vocal mic.
Yeah, it's a good vocal mic too. I wish we could play this, but in the video for "Party All the Time," which is Rick James with Eddie Murphy on vocals, like Eddie Murphy is totally singing into a 421. Cedric from At the Drive-In and Mars Volta uses one.
Yeah, I mean those are popular things.
His is all taped to the stand, I think. Before he used those, he used to throw the mic around a lot. Anyway.
It was an SM58.
Something like that. Handheld. Actually, maybe he says that his setup for handheld.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Anyway, let's move on.
So.
Hold on a second.
Maybe we should just keep the theme running because for the last 2 episodes, we've been fighting off Chicago cold. Are you alive there, Dan? Are you dying on me?
I was out late last night playing cards, and so I'm paying for it today.
How was Magic?
It was good. I finally got all my cards like kind of in a good storage spot. I'll show them to you. It's really dorky.
Hey man, I'm here for it.
So anyway, I think I'd like to say before we move into this is just a silly thing I did. It's for a video where a little puppet is riding a motorcycle, and it's just to show off the puppet maker's skills, kind of a promo thing. And you know, like motorcycle videos, if you see a motorcycle video, it's basically like all those NAMM guitar videos, where it's just like, and I call it NAMM blues.
NAMM blues or schlock.
Schlock blues,
Yeah.
schlocky rocky metal blues.
Yeah, just it's what happened when all the hair metal guys had to like kind of grow up a little bit.
Yeah. So anyway, I did this in 2 hours yesterday, and I gave because they needed to cut something to cut to edit. They needed a piece of music to edit their footage to. So I did this in a couple hours. Not tooting my own horn, but I've done this a lot, and I'm set up pretty well. And this isn't even very good. And I got a workable mix, and so we'll listen to this. And what I'd like to do today is with you, and guys, we're working on headphones, so it's not perfectly ideal. But I'd like to see if we could come up with some suggestions to improve my mix.
Oh wow, I'm on the spot now today. Let's do it.
Well, I mean, we can work together, man.
All right.
I definitely won't be.
Well, all right. So here's the thing that we're gonna be doing. Here's the fun part for me, actually. It's a test of both my ears and the equipment we're using.
Yeah.
The model of headphones I'm using. Give me 1 second to check.
Should we both get on the same ones? No, let's use different ones.
So this is an Audio-Technica ATH M40FS. I don't know what the frequency necessarily is on it, or
ATH M40. Let's just get a picture up.
So this is the headphones that I'm
M40.
using.
AS, you said?
FS.
FS.
And I got to be honest with you. So we've been listening to a lot of demos on these headphones, and I had to really struggle to like get a lot of the space and definition out of that mic shootout.
Yeah, these are my spare headphones that I use like in the studio for overdubs. I have a lot of pairs of these because they're fairly affordable, and so
We're also using a splitter that is super mono.
listener mTOR. No, there's some stereo on here.
Maybe on our returns, but yeah.
Okay, so mine is the Beyerdynamic DT880 Pro.
Those are comfy as hell.
DT880 Pro. No, I use the hell out of these because I work at night sometimes and I have neighbors. So I need to replace the pads like pretty bad. So these are obviously the $200 headphones. And they're open back, so they're quite different. Mm-hmm. They have a different they're gonna have a way different bass response. So yeah, listener beware. But I mean, maybe you could. I mean, more like there's creative aspects to it too.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at it as a complete adventure now at this point.
Yeah. So here it is. Again, it's pretty silly. And it's supposed to be like that. I know there's this thing where just like if you parody something, eventually you become it. So I don't want to do too much of this sort of work. But anyway, here it is. It's kind of a musical fake out.
I'm supposed to describe more because not everybody's gonna be. We can't see my reaction, but I was definitely laughing my ass off right now.
You just lean back in your chair and just like did one of the. You just close your eyes when.
It's hilarious, but it's also good.
And it's for these cute puppets.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
it's quick fade out because it's only a minute long.
All right. Let's get into it. I mean.
Okay. So is there anything in particular that you can say you'd like to hear different about this? Or we could also look at what I already have going on.
All right. Well, I would definitely do some of the guitar work a little differently, as far as not like playing it, but the way it's being.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mix, and the.
Do you want to start with the rhythm or the lead guitar?
I would like to actually start with the intro guitar.
Intro. Okay.
Yeah. I felt like, if you want to play it back real quick.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you know, this is the last part of it that I did. I kind of did the joke part of it first, and then I was just like, well, I don't want it to be this the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it's still like a creative thing that we want to like look and sound good. I was losing my headphones a little bit. Okay. Control. See if I can get this going first. All right. So now I have it on loop. And yeah, let's take a look. These are just. This is my tuner. This is a plugin called Guitar Conditioner from Air Windows, which is a brand that we're going to take a look at. We can devote an entire like episode. I could do an entire episode on this guy. I don't know if Britton would indulge me that. But anyway, listen to Guitar Conditioner, what it does.
I think we could do it in a whole episode.
Here, I'm gonna turn up the guitar just here. Oh, and let me also do a save as really quick, so just in case we don't want to keep any of these. Okay, save project as. Okay, so it's ranitas, which means frogs in Spanish. So I'll do ranitas suck. All right, so now whatever we do, it won't be, you know, tied with it necessarily. So Guitar Conditioner is really interesting. I'm going to turn off everything else. I'll just get rid of the tuner for now. I don't need it, just to not confuse things. So I'll turn that up a bit. So this is with Guitar Conditioner on. This is with it off. Now what this has been described as is like sort of taking a direct guitar line and sort of doing what a tube screamer would do, but without the distortion.
Okay.
So that can go on, that can go off. I've had success using that, and I've also felt that it's a little too much, cuts out a little much of the low end, and I prefer to do that either with EQ or keep the low end. But I had it on. Now the blue chorus from Brainworks, which is, you know, supposed to be like a Boss CE5, I believe. And I like this chorus. I try to use it, but I often find I end up using different choruses. So maybe we could try a different chorus.
I would. This is where I'm at on it all. What's the rock rack? Let's just get through Let's get through your whole.
The rock rack is the amp simulator. And it's set to a jazz chorus sort of setting.
Cool.
We could try something different.
Not necessarily.
Clean Marshall, clean angle.
I would leave it on clean jazz.
You could turn off the bright maybe.
I don't really have a problem with your sound right there, right? You could leave the bright on. I think we need to compress it maybe. I think it needs some compression.
So well, let's listen to it. I didn't have it on. That's why we weren't hitting it. So this is the guitar sound.
Much better.
And then I also have this console on it. This is the SSL. Here. So yeah, this is the SSL 4000G. It was released this year by Brainworks. I use a lot of Brainworks stuff. It's just worked. There's a whole story behind that, but whatever. So you were saying compression. I do have a little bit of this compressor on there. The SSL compressors sound good, but they're a little quick and dirty, I find sometimes.
Slow the release up a little bit.
Slow the release. Yeah, that'll smooth it out a bit.
You also want a little pump, right? Like I tend
that's the expander.
Yeah. I would. There you go. The reason why I like a slow release on things like guitars or basses sometimes, like bass guitar when you're playing, it lets some breathing out. You don't get a lot of reaction from like fast playing when doing that.
You're right. This smooths it out. I like it because that was one of the things that I was having an issue with, but I was just like, I don't feel like dealing with it. I'm just gonna send it out, and they'll cut to it. It's good enough for that. Yeah, maybe raise the threshold a little bit. I have the attack on fast.
Yeah, just take that off.
So maybe
your guitar plays like really nice and slow, like so like it's opto, essentially, the compressor. So it's gonna catch it quick enough.
Okay, let's listen to it in the mix a little bit. Bring it back down. Bring this back up to 0, where we were at.
And my final thing for everything,
This is an improvement.
get it into a room. I would definitely get some reverb somewhere.
Let's see. Do I have reverb? I should probably name this stuff. I didn't do that. Like I said, quick and dirty. How to suck. Okay,
Yeah.
clean guitar.
And I'm like the worst culprit of not naming my tracks properly.
This is the rhythm guitar. Our guitar. Lead guitar. And then this is bass. Okay. And then this is the reverb, but I didn't do a room reverb. I only did a hall reverb. So what I'll do is I'll make a room reverb.
Yeah. Or I mean, my other thing is like the overall issue.
Okay, now I got these Native Instruments ones. I use the Brainworks a lot. We could use the free Togu audio line tile reverb.
I am like not the right person.
We'll just go with my standard one. This is quick and easy. I just do that, hit the room.
I'm like I do the plate a lot on people. Like that's my go-to is plates. I do a lot of plate reverb emulation because I like the way a plate sounds.
You want to go for a plate on it?
Yeah. I just
just so you know, this is what the lead sounds like through the hall. That's our hall.
Yeah. I hear that hall, right? Mm-hmm. Run the plate just to see the difference, maybe to kind of.
So this is our second reverb. We're gonna do a plate. We'll just set it like that right now. Send our clean guitar out. Name it. Send our guitar out to it. Now a lot of times I do this in the mixing plan, and I do that on my other screen. But we don't have that here. I'm gonna try to work totally in this window. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe put some modulation on it.
Yeah. This is where the world is your oyster.
There already is a little bit of modulation. Just up that slightly.
There you go, man.
That's cool.
And you could run that through your rhythm guitar and the guitar instead of like the hall. I understand a hall reverb.
Well, that's just a standard. You just when like doing a quick mix, I'll just put a hall.
Yeah.
All right.
So that would be my first identification about, hey, well, if I were to be asked,
that's a bit much, obviously.
Yeah.
Now the only thing it's playing with here is the bass.
Yeah.
Now I just want to hear like the energy going into this next part. Okay, it's a little loud.
Yeah.
Okay, getting a phone call. I think I know what that's about. I don't need it right now. All right, here we are. Next up.
All right, so we're going into the rhythm and lead guitar section. Right
Okay.
here.
Let's listen to this rhythm. Again, guitar conditioner. You can hear it cleans up a lot of the mud.
Yeah, for sure.
It could be accomplished with EQ as well, but
when you're doing down and dirty stuff, I don't recommend.
This is a thing that does one thing. There's no controls at all on it, which is interesting. So I just have that. I have this Angle RetroTube 100. So this is basically, I think, the default patch. Oh no, this is a preset, and I brought down the gain, and I think I brought down the treble or something else, or maybe changed this. These are really cool plugins that we could do whole episodes about, but that's not what we're here to do today. And then I got Shred Spread just to get like a bit of width Width. So that's without it. That's with it.
You could even go wider on your spread.
I'm worried about doing that because this is going to be a YouTube video essentially.
It's still in codes.
And when people are listening on their phones, sometimes I've noticed if you go too wide on this, you get phase things. I want this to be kind of strong, but like here, I'll show you. There are ways to deal with that. And then there's this.
I see.
It's kind of like a high pass filter.
Yeah.
And it with a bump, I think. Or a shelf with a bump. So I kind of liked it where it was, which is around 100.
I feel you. So let's look at the Hall reverb you're using.
Yeah, this is a pretty standard one that I brought up quick again. I don't think I changed anything about it. Maybe I brought down the reverb time a little bit.
Okay. I'm not opposed to that at all. Maybe what I would do is possibly take a look at running it through. Do you have a Neve channel strip?
Yes.
Maybe like try a Neve channel strip run through. Maybe get something going.
Yeah, see where you're coming from. The reverb. You're saying the reverb or the guitar?
Guitar.
I'm gonna leave the reverb going through there. No.
Yeah, why not? Okay.
Yeah, let's not just because.
If you got the DSP, why not?
There's other things I've been doing with that particular thing, putting like distortion on reverb channels that I've enjoyed doing with like some bands that are like grittier, punkier. It's like make it sound like the reverb is coming out of PA.
Yeah, like one of those old realistic reverb boxes.
Yeah, I've been doing stuff like that.
I saw one for sale the other day and I regretted not buying it because I was like, damn, I should have bought it.
So here's the Neve. I'm pretty sure it has a preset for rhythm guitar. We'll just see what that does. Meaty metal riffs or lead guitars. Let's try metal.
Wow, that's
too much low mid range.
I would dial that a little back. Just
Yeah, the EQ not
digging
liking.
the E.
So what is it doing here? We're cutting a lot of 580, and I think our guitar conditioner, this thing is already doing that.
Yeah. You're getting
so we don't need it.
No.
Let me also turn off the gate.
Yeah, it's doing.
It's doing a little compression. So let me that's not bad. We dialed back this.
Try the band pass out. Or
which one?
Notch. Sorry. There you go.
What'd you say?
Try your. I forget the shape. Band pass.
Oh, the shelf.
Shelf. There you go. Fuck.
What is this? There's like put a stick in there.
That's crazy.
That's weird. I don't know if that's a glitch or if it's a joke. Could be either.
Anyway.
Okay. So let me talk a little bit about what we're going for here. We're going for like a chunky sound.
Yeah. I like that shelf.
And we don't want the mud. We don't want to cut mud too much. Definitely.
You want like this weird kind of meaty definition is what I would say, like a good rhythm chunky riff.
Yeah,
like.
the lower mid range has to be balanced, really. Yeah. Has to be balanced so that kick drums can still sound fat. Any of your low end instruments can sound good.
Yeah.
And when the lead guitar is even going to be down there every once in a while.
And there you go.
What do you think about this bump?
So
at 1K,
that shelf right there is at 63.
Mm-hmm. It's doing the Neve trick because we also have this high pass filter.
Yeah. So I think that we can take our midsection and we can tweak it to kind of give us what we want.
Let me take off the compressor for now.
Yeah.
I usually, when I'm doing critical EQ, I like to turn off the compressor while I EQ.
Well, I am not mad at that 1,009. So yeah, high mid range. So this is what I think is kind of interesting right now. I know you're missing with the high mid versus the mid, right? And you have some boosting on 580, and we also have some boosting at very close, like 1K in the mid section. I'm not against that. It's just
So let me bring up the lead guitar because that's what's really.
Yeah.
We'll do the same. We'll put the Neve on there. Sometimes it's really good. As you can see, I've gated this one because it was just so high gain. All right. So for this one, we'll just start off with the preset. Whoop. Let's just listen. Ooh. So it's adding something, so I'm gonna just take away everything that it's adding. Also turn off the gate. I need to change these save these presets, but it's just so annoying. All right, that's a more neutral spot to start from. Now we're looking for like really kind of a glossy but still gritty, kind of like sparkly.
yeah.
So I think we can actually dial back the low end a bit.
I would definitely do that.
And possibly with a filter.
Yeah.
So that's way up there. That's even higher.
Oh. $90 would probably be your sweet spot.
I would sometimes go even further.
I like that though. I like the direction of that. Like you're like, yo. Yeah, man.
Okay. Now I feel like there's some mid-range that like just sounds kind of messy. We could go back over here and sort of adjust a lot of different things, but at this point, I like to consider it that this guitar is already recorded. We got a good tone, a decent tone that'll work, and now we're just trying to make it fit with everything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm gonna propose a cut, kind of, mid-range up here. And actually, what we could do is do a big boost. That's kind of where I'm hearing it. Sounds a little better.
Well, I mean, I think you got to take into account your high right here now needs to, push up. See if you can get a little bit more zeroed in on your shimmer. Some clarity. There we go.
Yeah.
Now we can adjust down there because now we know what we're trying to get out of that messy region, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. There, that's nasty right there. It's where it's gross.
Mm-hmm. I'll turn it up. Yeah, that's the stuff we want to...
Yeah. Want to get rid of that.
Now it's feeling a little pinched. Just a little pinched to me. So some high end, perhaps, some really high end.
Add some air, bro.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
A little pinched harmonic at the end. All right, so now let's listen to the two guitars together, and then we can adjust our rhythm guitar a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like our rhythm guitar's a little boxy right now.
Yeah, and we can see we're boosting around here, and that would be probably a good place to cut. So instead of doing this boost down here, which could definitely be accounting for some of the boxing, I think we should cut wherever we have a boost here, perhaps, or kind of cut in the same spot, I think. Let's see.
You could absolutely cut a little bit higher up. There you go.
Okay, now we need to add like a little, like, I don't know, kind of like shred to the guitar. So like we're getting glossy and shimmer on the lead. We want to get some like shred in this area on this band.
Let's rock the 2.3. That might give us.
We were cutting there. So
we're cutting.
We were cutting there, but no. Now we're going to do a boost because we're listening to it.
Yeah.
Whenever you're EQing an individual piece on its own, soloed, I always expect to make adjustments when you start bringing in other elements. So
that's
luckily, this song has only a few elements. So
now this is where I would move up this channel a bit, right?
What do you mean?
That's exactly like you kind of. It would definitely start going more towards up the scale, right? You want 2.5, almost 3 maybe. I like where you're at right now, essentially. Is that you're like, that's the shred, right?
Here's the shred, like 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hear that?
Yeah. The squelch.
Yeah. I think we can use a little more cut here. And maybe more boost here.
There you go.
And so now I'm looking at the compressor here. I don't want it to be fast. That's for sure.
Nah.
I want it to get those chunky like hits in. Right there. It already sounds better. Let me solo this. So this is fast, and it's a very slight amount of compression, but it's very easy to hear. On, slower. I think we could even use less, and perhaps bring our ratio down. It was all the way, and now it's peeking through. I think the release is fine for this tempo. Okay, so I think now is a good time to take these out of solo and see where we're at.
Absolutely.
I think that's a huge improvement.
But you see how just those little changes gave your guitar the place that it needed to be, which is the centerpiece of this song at the moment.
Oh yeah, this is NAMM guitar rock.
Yeah, like
blues.
But not all projects call for that kind of EQing style, but this is what, that's that trademark. It punches through. Sounds like you just got hit in the balls with some guitar.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, if you feel like moving on from here, Britton, we can keep doing this, but I feel like that's a pretty good just like little look. I mean, let's take a look at the other elements just for shits. We'll do it quick.
Absolutely, man.
Bass or drums?
Let's do the bass. I think that we can benefit from that, right?
Mm-hmm. So the bass exists off of two sections. So if we find that a setting doesn't work for one section, the quiet section, which is vastly different sonically from the main section, we could put it on different tracks. We could automate. I tend to put on different tracks. But so again, here we got the tuner. We got the bass dude, also from Brainworks. Opto, also from Brainworks. And then chorus from Air Windows, which I find to be good. Listen to it solo. It's a little bit like that Yamaha chorus that everyone loves on bass.
Yeah, man. Are we sending it to a reverb channel?
We're not.
So
do you think this is something that like you would send it to a reverb in that section, but not on this one? Or maybe like 2 different reverbs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or splash. Like, I'm just thinking more of a splash. Like,
we don't have a room channel, which might be cool to have for our drums.
Yeah.
So let's, what am I doing? I want another channel. We want another reverb channel. And this will be our room.
I tend to like, that's kind of where my beginning point is when I'm starting to write tracks, is I make sure I just put some reverb on a lot of stuff just to kind of get it.
Well, I kind of purposely did this because I wanted to do this. I did this yesterday. I wanted to do this today. And we'll just use the same reverb.
Yeah.
And just regular room.
And you don't have to always use a room for a room reverb. It's all relative.
Yeah. Like I'll whoops, not this one.
There we go. Let's get some pre-delay going a little bit.
A little bit of this. So pre-delay brings it forward a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's not a big room. Mic should be like in there somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Now you could get your drums in that room too if you wanted to.
Okay.
And then
I already have some room reverb just within the drum machine.
I like how it's widening our imaging right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's giving us some depth. And this, I haven't even, we haven't really gotten to like, during the louder part, we could definitely like raise some of that level to compress. Maybe like you can compress the signal, get a little bit of a more louder
Let's do
present.
it. Let's do it already.
Presence during your
Okay.
louder part. I don't know if you want to do that on the room necessarily.
No, let's compress our room. I think that could be really good.
Okay.
So just to get away from Brainworks a little bit, this is Tan from Acoustica. It's a free. It's kind of a Neve, kind of like a Neve, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure exactly.
Okay. It's Neve.
Acoustica Tan. But let's get to the loud part.
Yeah, we definitely gonna need some.
So what I'm trying to do is kind of pump it a little bit. Let's actually get really, really aggressive. And just see what that sounds like.
It's definitely pumping.
That could be appropriate for this mix. So anyway, we got this pumpy sound. This has a dry wet. All plugins within Reaper have a dry wet right up here, but this has one built in, which is nice. It's a bigger knob, so. So you're getting some pumping, and
I'm not mad at all.
let's see what it sounds like in the mix.
Movement, dude. I like the movement.
Okay, so the guitars are a bit loud.
Yeah.
We have some room on our master, but we're also clipping.
You could gain up your
Over
bass
here.
though in that section.
Hold on. I'm just gonna bring the guitars back.
Yeah.
Right here. Again, this is a headphone mix, and it's kind of hard to balance these things out.
Yeah, I'm really only going off of what I'm hearing, guys. So like, if your monitors, this could sound like ass on like monitors.
Here, actually, let's check on the monitors really quick. We'll keep going. I just have this knob here. It's like.
Actually, it sounds better.
Yeah, I think that's decent. We have been recording and listening to stuff with headphones for quite a while now, so our ears maybe not be perfect, but I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now the one thing we may want to do, I think the drums sound fine. We didn't really go over them. This is just Contact 5. And I've messed around with the internal mixer. I've worked in Contact 5 a lot. This is the Abbey Road 80s drum kit. I have Complete 9, so I have a bunch of stuff from these guys. And I've used this drum machine a lot because it sounds decently realistic, but also you can get that cheesy sort of...
Yeah, no,
it's perfect for this because you can get that kind of really cheesy... like sampled drums from like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, you can definitely get that sound out of it. My adage to that is that I've used that stuff just to kind of like get by on like drum machine stuff too. Their samples aren't like totally whack.
Yeah,
all right.
They're done to a doneness. You know, they're done.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, though, I don't take any samples out of the box from any place and like not expect to have to put your own touch to it.
Yeah. You know, I've been in the MIDI and like, actually, I see all the velocities are the same. So
yeah,
I found the right velocities I needed.
128, 127.
Yeah, what did we have? So the trick with using these is that you always use a velocity of 115.
115?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's your magic number for that particular sample set, the 80s. I believe it's the Chrome kit. All right. Yeah. This was a cool little project. Let's check really quick to see how our section change goes. So these can come down.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to do that using just the in-house volume modifier on these clips. This is also something we could handle in mastering. I think that's much better.
Yeah.
And at the end, we don't want I don't want as big of a change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stays up.
Yeah. You should be right there.
Yeah. Just at the beginning, I want it to be a surprise because it's what I would call a musical fake out.
Yeah. No, it thematically it all makes sense. That's what I would say. It all like you do want your arc to go up, and then you want to stay at that good energy as you fade out into the sunset, like a cowboy riding on.
Speaking of fading out into the sunset, like a cowboy.
So long, partners.
Adios, amigo.
So I'm Britt.
I'm Dan.
Thanks for listening to How to Suck at Recording. Just smash that like button. Subscribe.
Yeah, right now we're just a YouTube podcast with a video element.
We're also on SoundCloud.
We're on SoundCloud too. So that's new development.
Yeah.
And we're looking to get onto the Apple Podcasts thing, but it takes a little while. They have, they're a little hard to get past. They're a harder gatekeeper to get past. So hopefully we'll get on that as soon as possible.
We just need to get our shit together. It's all good.
But we suck, so it might take a while.
Yeah. All jokes aside, have a good one, folks. See you next time.
Bye.